Yo, what's good, everybody? If you've been scrolling through social media lately, you already know Drake has been making plenty of noise, and I mean plenty. From reportedly handing out $1 million during a dinner surrounded by women to jumping into live-streamed speed dates, the guy has definitely been outside. But now, a well-known hip-hop media personality has stepped forward to criticize Drake over his recent 20v1 antics.
Of Drake's music, I was totally disappointed to see it do a 20v1, even playing wise. People look at Drake as an artist that not only has he achieved a lot, but he's damn near 40 years old. I had this conversation one time with Charlamagne years ago, and we was basically debating, right? Like, who would be the closest artist to Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z is our favorite rapper. So Drake, I'm like, yo, Drake would be the person that is closest to Jay in terms of how his career has gone, as far as his success and as far as where I see it going. That I never thought in a million years I would see Drake do a 20v1. I don't think that Drake is on there looking for love, nor do I think that 20v1s are about people looking for love. It's just content, it's just some shit that people do, but it does expose a lot about people who...
Drake wasn't about to let that slide. He responded, and in classic Drake fashion, he went directly for the weak spot. So, let's break this down. Drake recently joined a kick stream for a 20v1 speed dating segment. If you've seen the format before, you already know how wild it can get. One guy, and in this case one of the biggest rappers in the world, sits down while 20 women compete for his attention, or a potential date, with Kyle from the Nelk Boys hosting the whole thing. The result was complete chaos. There were plenty of viral moments, including one clip where Drake actually started barking at a woman who described herself as goth. Yes, he really barked. That didn't sit well with Wayno, the former Everyday Struggle host who has been around the music industry for years. He uploaded a video explaining that as a Drake fan, he was genuinely disappointed by what he saw. Wayno has always viewed Drake as the artist whose career path most closely resembles Jay-Z's, so watching a superstar approaching 40 take part in what he considered a cheesy online dating show looked to him like a major step in the wrong direction. He went even further, arguing that this type of content felt like something the CIA created to damage the culture. Yeah, he went there. And then came Drake, who clearly wasn't interested in writing some long response. After seeing Wayno's clip, Drake chose a much more personal move. He posted a screenshot showing Wayno appearing on the For All the Nerds podcast.
Guess what did you think of this episode overall?
So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I was an expert in Polaris. I wasn't really familiar with her game. But, you know, seeing...
In the clip, Wayno was fully locked in, breaking down Marvel movies and TV shows. Then, Drake reposted the moment with a caption that read, "This was you last week reviewing Marvel. Returning guest, never too old for some joy, gang. Take it easy." The message was pretty obvious. Drake was basically saying, you're sitting around discussing superheroes and comic books at your age, but somehow I'm too old to have fun on a live stream? Drake's supporters immediately ran with it. The comments filled up with people pointing out what they saw as a double standard and telling Wayno to simply let Drake enjoy himself. But Wayno wasn't finished. He returned to YouTube and accused Drake of being a complete hypocrite. His reasoning? Drake's own OVO brand had just partnered with Marvel for a major collaboration.
People who hit me talking about some, yo, he violated. No, he didn't. That didn't violate me. He's calling me out for the same thing I'm calling him out for, because he's basically saying never too old for some joy. Take it easy. Now, let me add how I feel about that. I didn't know that 20v1s was so important to the people who support him. Like, that's all I'm saying. Because now 20v1s is like this important thing. I'm just saying that for myself, I just looked at him in a certain space. And while I'm looking at him in a certain space, I'm not thinking he would ever do something like that. Drake is a fucking nerd as well. I said this before. He's one of hip-hop's biggest nerds in the space of collecting memorabilia. He got all types of trophies in that trophy room in his crib. And I think that's dope. There's nothing wrong with that. I collect a lot of shit too. OVO did a collab with Marvel last year and the shit came out fire. You had the scene, you know what I'm saying, with Wolverine.
Wayno's argument was pretty straightforward. You can't make fun of somebody for being a Marvel nerd when you're also out here putting Marvel-themed hoodies and jackets on the market yourself. And this awkward stream controversy came right after Drizzy had pulled off what many would consider some serious, high-level generosity. Just a few days before the barking incident, Drake hosted the third annual Strong Women, Stronger Drinks event at a castle in Toronto. This was far more than a regular party. For the women who attended, it turned into a potentially life-changing night. Drake invited women creators, entrepreneurs, and broadcasters from his hometown, specifically people he said he had a lot of respect for. Every woman who entered was handed $1,000 in cash simply for attending. Then the giveaways got even crazier. 10 women were surprised with $50,000 each, putting $500,000 into those prizes alone. Some attendees reportedly walked away with $100,000. And then there were the cars. Drake gave away luxury vehicles, including a brand new BMW and a Mercedes G-Wagon. Yeah, he was really going all out.
Term tricking. Because tricking has a negative connotation to it, like you're doing something for somebody for something in exchange.
Expectations in return, yeah, feel it.
It's just nice to make somebody else feel good. Like, you know, like Jordan. Jordan is such a bright spirit with so much electric energy, and I just like seeing her feel good. I like seeing all these women feel good. Thank you.
One moment he's playing the philanthropist, handing out huge amounts of money and luxury cars to women in his hometown. Then, just days later, he's on a kickstream, participating in a format that some viewed as objectifying women. Now Wayno is criticizing him for acting immature and corny. And that brings up the bigger question. Maybe this is simply part of the Drake experience. Throughout his career, he's always balanced superstar status with a down-to-earth personality and at times a pretty goofy sense of humor. For some people, that's exactly what makes him relatable. But Wayno seems to believe Drake is reaching an age where the Joy Gang mentality should start giving way to a more serious suit-and-tie version of himself.
People have made fun of Drake for being corny. I think Drake, honestly, is just being himself, you know? And corny is subjective to the person. I find some of it entertaining, to be honest. I see a lot of people getting emotional about everything that Drake does. Like, it's getting under their skin. Like, they get so passionate about, why is he doing this and why is he doing that? I'm not gonna lie to you. Do I feel like Drake doing a 20v1 is some headline that I can't fathom and it's the craziest thing I've ever heard, and I'm like, yo, why is he even doing something like that? Not really. Not really. It actually fits the bill. Like, what about Drake is making y'all think he's gonna wake up one day and be this super woke guy that's doing all of these mature
Before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with a couple of questions. First, do you think Wayno has a legitimate point that Drake should start maturing and be more protective of his legacy as he approaches 40? And second, is Drake simply enjoying himself and honoring his streaming commitments while still giving back to his community in ways most people never could?